Morning. I know, right? You get to see that beautiful nature, and then you get to see my ugly mug. Sorry. It's just the duality of life, isn't it? Hope you will. Still not work these intros out. It's what it is, isn't it? I hope you had a good day yesterday. I hope you were able to learn from the good or the bad. I personally had a very good day. I was hired for the day. I was organising somebody's house. I was moving stuff. I was dusting. I was organising. I was chucking stuff out. I got fed. I had a lovely sausage sandwich. I had pasta. Nice conversations. Good times. So what did I learn? Because I was asked this. So when I woke up, I love the people in my life. I'm very appreciative of what they bring. A bit of pasta and cheese after 5 hours of moving heavy stuff and huffing dust is pretty damn tasty. I value people's time, people's perspectives, people's ideas and creativity, people's empathy. I value my position in this universe, that I'm able to help people and want to help people too. And that my body's not 21 years old anymore, and I ache a little bit today, I'm not gonna lie. I woke up about 4 o'clock, I needed a wee, as I normally do. Wake up, have a wee, meditate for half an hour, go back to sleep. And my body was a little bit creaky, I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit, what were you doing yesterday, Phil? I'll tell you what I was doing, I was moving around, I was moving shit about. It was a lovely day, Yeah, a few years ago, I'd be like, what are you on about? I'm dusting someone's house and moving stuff about. Yeah, it's a lot more than that though, isn't it? It's a lot more than that, it's a lot more layered. And then I came home, I watched a little bit more Area 52, obsessed much Phil. I was actually just finishing off an episode. And then I watched the new episode from the Bledsoe Said So podcast, which is the son of Chris Bledsoe, Bledsoe. Miraculous young man, well, he's not that young, probably about 60-ish. Yeah, it's quite the story that he has there. I mean, he's a devout Christian, and was it 17 years ago, he had an experience with seeing like fiery orbs in the sky, and through hypnosis regression he's found that he was taken, shown things, told things. At the same time, the experience he was having, his son was having an experience where he encountered some extraterrestrials with glowing eyes. And I think that same evening, when they all came home after the trauma of dealing with all that, and then he had another encounter with the lady, who on all accounts appears throughout history. All of the big 3-letter agencies all know about her. She's very important, I think, to mankind, and the progression of human consciousness, the progression of mankind. And she told him that he was going to suffer for a while through this. Nobody's going to believe him. It's going to be quite hard, but he will be rewarded in time. And he is. He's kept with his story. His family was basically ostracized, being a deeply religious family in a deeply religious town, and yeah. So he was persecuted and ridiculed. Which, just look at history. Most people who are very important to human history are, aren't they? And sit up straight, Phil, come on. You know better than this. Medic, man down. I think Luke and Bo are here. Is that... Okay. Just the good old boys. What was I saying? You see, I can't have shit like that happen around me because my attention's off. Oh, squirrel. Yes, Chris Bledsoe. And now he's just being investigated by all the agencies, NASA, the Vatican, all the agencies, because he this on another video I was talking about consciousness, and why I started to talk about why scientists and these agencies can't get in contact with alien extraterrestrial intelligence, NHI, non-human intelligence, is because their intentions are wrong. They want to weaponize it. They want to take it. They want to steal it, basically. They want to weaponize it and make it for themselves because they're greedy, awful fucks. That's why. And me saying that is probably going to put me on some list somewhere. And I don't care, because you are awful, awful fucks. This new whistleblower that's come out into the scene, I'll put on, what's it called, Weaponized podcast with Jeremy Corbell, this new, I can't remember his name, this new whistleblower at the end. I mean, it was a hard question to ask. It was a bit of a shit question to ask, actually. If you die, what do you want people to know about yourself? And this guy is fearing for his life at the moment. Shit question to ask, but you need to sensationalize it for your podcast, I guess. And he said this reality is a lot more than what we are led to believe, and God exists. And he is 100% right. Fake science. It's fake archaeology. And look at that guy that was on Joe Rogan yesterday, that piece of shit. I'm sorry, I get angry because I get protective. I want to protect everyone from these bastards that hold everything back, that hold us back, this progression of mankind, this forward jump in consciousness. When it's happening, it's going to happen. Truth always rises to the top. But these pieces of shit, it's like, oh, I know all the answers, but you need to buy my book to get them all. But I'll hold everybody back. I'll hold everybody's research back and papers back and dedication that they've spent their whole lives and their doctorates and stuff. I'll hold them back because I've got a book to sell. Exactly. So yeah, I can come across as a bit aggressive like this, but it's just that I want to protect everyone, and I know I can't. And I even was meditating last night, and I said to the universe, it's probably a good job that you didn't make me a protector, that you don't make me this one person justice machine, because me being me, and I do keep darker aspects of me inside, because that's my fuel, that's my power, as well as love. You know, the shadow work that I've done these last 17 months, I don't push the darkness away, I embrace it. And it is part of me. And that's why I have this cognitive battle every time to make the good choice, to make the better choice, to make the choice that is fueled and motivated by love and compassion and empathy. So my knee-jerk reaction is to snap all their necks and watch them burn. But then I relax and have a nice oat milk, or I go for a walk in nature. And then I realise that justice will prevail. That us as mankind, as a collective consciousness, will rise to the top, will endure, endeavour, and we will. We will succeed, we will win, we will be victorious, because there's too much light in this world, and darkness can't hide. And like the whistleblower said, these people in charge, this cabal, these group of elites, they've tasted that darkness, they've tasted that evil, and they're very happy, and they like it. They like the taste of it, they like the control. It's all consuming. At the beginning of my journey, it was fueled by all that, fueled by it. And it could have been a completely different story what I'm telling here. I could have gone full supervillain. But I didn't. So I see all these people and I hear all these people, and I just hear the words. You know, like this UFO thing now. I've gone on a big tangent. I was talking about Chris, wasn't I? I'll come back. The UFO thing now, looking at the Senate hearings, looking at this revolving door of actors that they've got coming on. Have they had one first-hand experience of that? No. Do they get any of these people in skiffs? No. Should those people go in skiffs? Absolutely not, because then all your stuff's going to be confidential, innit? And you won't be able to say shit, or you'll go to prison. And like the whistleblower in that podcast says, he knows that people are being killed over this, suppressed, wet-worked. And that's why when you've got people like Skywatcher coming out with this dog whistle thing, ex-military funded by private investors. Yeah, I don't say it sounds shady at all. Jake Barber and all them, they've probably, I mean, I'm not saying it's happened, but in my mind, these are the guys that went out and wet-worked scientists and people that were talking about this previously. He's talked about going to meet, doing some undercover thing with Stephen Greer. I don't trust them, and I don't have to. You know, just because you've got good production on the video and you're talking about UFOs, dog whistle? Seriously. And then using psionics to bring down these crafts because they want them, they want the technology. Yeah, you're really going to invest millions and millions and millions just so you can take photographs of the things up in the sky. You want it, you want that technology, and you want to use it for your business because they're all invested by Silicon Valley. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent again. Don't trust these people, and don't think you should, just because they're new and shiny and the new thing on the block, the new kid on the block, thinking that they're hanging tough. Show my age. Don't trust them. Don't trust them at all. None of these guys in the Senate hearings. Don't trust them. They're all in for themselves. Pushing the agenda for national security. Dude, if they wanted us dead, we'd be ash. It's just a fake narrative that they're trying to push so they can eventually push the narrative so they can get more money in Congress and, you know, black budgets and all that stuff. Anyway, Chris Bledsoe. Let's get back to the light. He can heal. He's healed people. He gets visited by the lady. He's been chosen, you know. He's the chosen one, or one of the chosen few. And it's beautiful to see. But he's had to go through that ridicule and that pain and all that to get to where he is today. And his family is in such a beautiful place. The Bledsoe Said So crew. The family. And you probably, I don't know, you may not have heard of them. So let me just shine a light on them. Let me shine a light on Chris. You know, these government people, they can't contact NHI, our cosmic cousins, because their intentions are wrong. You go to them with an open heart and an open mind and a heart full of love. Get a bit rambunctious up there. Springtime, isn't it? And one of the things I am trying through doing the Gateway tapes, the Monroe ones, and they talk about this on the Area 52, are DMT entities real? But they all talk about the Monroe tapes, they talk about meditation with no substances, with no medicine, plant medicine. That you can reach these levels of consciousness through meditation to contact other consciousness, NHI, alien, extraterrestrial. And I've had a snippet of it. I've had a snippet of it. Last night, meditating, I was here. And I'd say from what I'm looking at now, from I had my eyes closed and what I was seeing behind my closed eyes, it was 75% clear. There was a bit of static, and it took me really by surprise. And I think I was getting a bit too wound up in the meditation, because I can slip into that dark groove, you know, that well-worn groove of 49 years. That path, that well-worn path, you know, that deeper trench. It's sometimes like a ball bearing falls into, when you go 10-pin bowling, falls into the gutter, kind of like that. So I have to be very careful. And I think I was gravitating to the singularity, and I was leaning, and all of a sudden, boom, nature. I was like, oh, right, relax, nice, calm. Thank you. And Chris, before all this, was building houses. He had a business. He lost, when the crash happened in America, he lost his business. He lost millions trying to keep his business afloat, trying to keep his employees employed. He lost everything. And he was going through dealing with Crohn's disease. He was in a bad place. And at the point when it couldn't get any worse, when his family was being ridiculed, when he was being ostracized, when he was in pain, when his family was being torn apart, through all this, he went out into nature and he cried out, why? I can't do this. Why me? And the lady appeared. And it's very similar to my story, crying out to the universe, I don't want to be here. If you don't want to love me, then take my life away from me and give it to somebody else. If I'm not worthy. And it was despair, and it was just soul-wrenching, just grief and trauma. And that's when I reached down and saved myself, and that's when the lady appeared and saved Chris. And told Chris, you know I am here. It's your burden, it's your story, it's yours to tell. And he's the most gentlest man. Tears. Is there going to be a video that I don't well up? You soft bastard. No, that's just the Yorkshireman in me. Can't be showing your feelings, Phil. What's wrong with you? Bloody Nara. Stop it. You bloody Jesse. Oh, well, actually, I'll show my feelings. Thank you very much. Because I don't know who will see this. And I don't know who will this affect, and I don't know what will resonate. So everything stays in, the good or the bad. Because this is my journey, you know. So, UFOs, consciousness, Monroe tapes. I mean, oh my goodness, this kind of, I'm not a religious person. I do believe in Jesus. I do believe he was here. I know he was here. Very powerful. For me personally, he was a very powerful spiritual being. Probably just, in touch, massively in touch with the universe, could manifest on a whim, had love coursing through his veins. Son of God? That doesn't resonate with me. But it does with Chris. And the whole thing for him is the divine wind, is the Holy Spirit, is God, the Father, the Son, everything. So maybe that's why it appeared to him like that. I guess it might just appear to you what makes total sense, like how the computer game analogy popped into my head for it all to make sense. And I know that there's loose ends here that need to be tied up in a big bow. I don't think I've finished my DMT journey. With this new code that's been shown by Danny, the code that I saw a few years back, I think this is pivotal. Yeah, I didn't talk much about my experiences in there. There was one, so I've also not mentioned that every time, I'd say 90% of the time I did DMT, I broke through, which is leaving your body. Your consciousness goes to another dimension. I wasn't just going poof poof. because I wasn't using the diluted pens. I make it myself. It was full throttle, full fat. Had all the calories. So 3 huffs on that, you're off. You leave your body. So every session, 2 to 5 times a night, 3 to 5 nights a week was blast off. And I saw some shit and experienced some shit, and that's when I made my friends. I don't think I've talked about this as well. I made friends in there, and they would come back with me sometimes. And the way the setup was, the lights were off, TV was on standby, which means I have a blue LED light strip plugged into the back of the TV. So when it's on standby, it's just the blue light. So just like an ambient light kind of thing, no other light. Blast off, do your 10 to 20 minutes, whatever it is. And then I used to keep my phone, like the memo app, just running. And I would be talking in there whilst I was gone. I didn't know. And I think this is, well, I know it's a very wrong thing, but it's probably just the way I was at the time. But I was going, well, show me. Well, why don't you want to show me? Ah, don't be a bitch. Telling an all-powerful spiritual entity, don't be a bitch because it don't want to show me something. That's just me all through. I probably didn't mean anything by it. I was being playful, and I think they quite liked it in a way, because I did make some very good friends in there, because they would always come back to say hello. Sometimes it was like so scary because there'd just be so many just like looking at me, and it's all like here, like, hey, he's back. And then I'd come back to my space and then slowly open my eyes, and I'd be in the ambient space with the blue light. And maybe it's because they knew a TV is like a portal for me watching things, and it would be like how in the abyss when the water tendrils would come out like that. It would be kind of like that, but then it would go into an entity. Very much holographic, very much like how the Predator goes into stealth mode. And it would be an entity, but if I blinked, it would go to a different entity. So I could just do that. I could just like file through them, and there'd be different ones, and they'd be magnificent. There'd be dragons, there'd be scaly things, there'd be sometimes small, sometimes big. It was crazy. And every time I blinked, it would be a different one. So I had to keep my eyes open, but then my eyes were getting all dry, and then sometimes I would blast off, and I'd never gone to the waiting room. I've never experienced that. I'd just go to a different pew, and there was one. No, sorry, it happened many times, but first time it happened, I was going down this tunnel. You could go into your blast off, and then something just sucked me straight out, and I go into this world of just promotion, and it's like a world of adverts. Like everything's just holographic boards, billboards, but there'd be the same logo, there'd be the same person. Like this space has been rented by a certain entity or a certain company. So bizarre, and it happened loads of times. But a different face every time, and I closed my eyes and I'd see the face. But if I looked around, the logos would be augmented onto, like you can do with VR now. You can project something onto your wall, and it'd just be there. So I'd look at walls, and it would follow the contours of the walls. I could look at my hand, and it would be the contours of my hand or the back of my hand. It'd be everywhere, and I couldn't escape it. And it happened loads of times, like this space. And then one day, I wasn't in a very good space, and I just needed to go see my friends in that realm. And I took it, and this happened again. I went into this space, and I could just feel, even though I was still blasting off, kind of, but then get ripped into this space. Just this sense of just, oh no, not today, no guys, not today, please, of all days. And then it brought me back all of a sudden. So I was still tripping balls. I should have still been on space, but I was back in my space. And then I could see the logos everywhere, and then my heart sank, and then it just exploded into just entities. All my friends were there in my room. And they were on the ceiling, they were on the walls, they were in front of me, and they were all laughing. They were like, ta-da! Surprise! And I couldn't stop laughing, and it was so beautiful and joyful, and there's so much love, and I couldn't blink. I couldn't blink, and they knew that, and they found it hilarious. Hilarious. And I'm like, it's so lovely. Like that scene in Clockwork Orange. Ah! But I was also probably 10 beers deep into that as well, or 12 beers deep, as normal. And it's the same as having a dream. You wake up and you get like catching butterflies, and it slowly flicks away. So I could maybe remember 10% of it, but I just know the effect it had on me, and it was insane. But then your analytical brain kicks in, and it's like, well, that wasn't real. That was just you tripping balls. It's not real. And these entities that would come back to me, I could walk around them. They'd still be there. And I could walk around them like this and look at them, and they'd be moving. They'd be moving like this, just slowly, just like undulating and stuff. And I could just walk around them, and they'd be there, like how Danny talks about the console that he can bring up. So I don't think my work there is done. I think I might be something important for that space. And I think towards the end, when I started to be hunted in there, I was hunted for a reason. I was being tested. I know I was. Because I was fighting back. I wouldn't let them push me around. And they kind of liked that. And I was being pushed to see how far they could push me. And the more they pushed, I pushed back. And I think I was being tested for something. But then my awakening happened. So I don't know. I'm a little bit scared to go back in, because I'm very happy in the space that I'm in now. And that might take me down another trouser leg of reality or something. I don't know. I know I'm waffling, and it doesn't really make sense, because I'm thinking about this in real time for you and stuff. I haven't really thought about this much. I mean, it's dealing with the 3D, not just, well, my consciousness in this 3D. So yeah, seeing the code like appear on Danny's podcast, and the code in the refracted laser and stuff, it just made sense. It's like, oh yeah, of course somebody's going to find it. And he also said 42 was really important in this. 42, it was guiding him, and I meditated once on this, and on this code. And as soon as I finished to pause the music, the time was 20:22. And I got deeply involved meditating with binaural beats, which means you've got your different frequencies: gamma, delta, theta, alpha. Say you have 100 hertz in this ear playing and 150 hertz in this ear, then your brain oscillates the 50 hertz in the middle. And I'm saying 20 and 22. I don't think 2 hertz is probably going to do you any good. I could be wrong. Not really researched it. I did message Danny and said, light, you're looking at light. Well, that's sound as well. You could hemisync your brain, maybe hemisync your brain. Oh Jesus, I could hemisync my brain whilst I'm doing DMT. If you, on the news, you see a mushroom cloud appear in West Yorkshire, UK, might be because I tried that. Or like at the end of that film Powder, great film by the way, when he just gets hit by lightning about 6 times and then just disappears into like an ethereal mist. Might be something like that. Yeah, I watched that, and I watched the film Phenomenon with John Travolta, or as my dad called him, John Revolting. I watched those 2 films back to back maybe about a year ago. They were calling to me to watch. Then I put the film Michael on, and that was shite. I turned that off. I just remember him smelling like cookies or something, and I was like, oh no, that's rubbish. Terrible film. So I'd be really interested if you've been on this journey, if you know about Chris Bledsoe, about your interest in UFOs, the UAP phenomenon. Are you doing the Gateway tapes? Are you interested in the Monroe? Have you heard of Chris Bledsoe? Do you know the Chris Bledsoe podcast? Do you know Area 52? Are you interested in any of the things I talk about? And more importantly, what are you interested in? What's been your journey? What's got you to where you are now? Because now is all we have. We're constantly just in the now, and there's these things that are just filing in front of us. Oh, stop, I'm interested in that. Literally is just saying that. Stop, expand. Let me learn that, please. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. We're here to become. We're here to relearn. And we're here to listen. And we're here to love one another. More importantly, ourselves. More importantly, our neighbours. Or our neighbours. I think they live underground. Interdimensional, transdimensional, live underground. There could be one right here, without me even knowing. I would love to know. I think right now my purpose is to contact them, or to be open enough for them to contact me. And it's not a rush. It will happen when it happens. I know it will. I think that's why I'm here. Squirrel! There's a squirrel. Jesus, he's huge. Is that a squirrel? It's like a raccoon. My goodness. Raccoons, good cartoon. I used to watch that when I was a kid. Bert. Trapdoor. That was a clay motion cartoon. That was not cartoon, clay motion thing that I was on. No. Tangent, Phil, come on. Rein it back in. So, talk about your journey and start talking about squirrels. Yeah, I'd love to get to know your story and what got you to where you are now. And where do you think this stepping stone of now is going to take you into the future? Love and light. Have a good day. Remember to be gentle with yourself. And I'm going to go for my walk now because I've waffled on far too much. So, I love you.